Welcome to another episode of Healing Whole. I'm here today at Find Your Fire Fitness in Mount Pleasant, PA, talking to Anita Dextradeur. She is an instructor for Kidding Around Yoga. So we're going to find out all about Kidding Around Yoga, why it's important for kids, and where you can find her. So let's check it out. So I'm here with Anita Dextradeur, who is an instructor here at Find Your Fire Fitness. She is a yoga instructor, but specifically today we were talking about Kidding Around Yoga. So how are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you. How are you?
Very good, very good. I love being in this room. It's beautiful. Is this where you teach?
Yes, this is where I teach, and I absolutely love this room. I love the space. I love the vibe of the whole place. It's
perfect, great. Calming room, especially for kids to kind of just wind them down.
Right. Absolutely.
So we're going to get into Kidding Around Yoga, but before we get there, can you tell me kind of how you got into this holistic way of living?
Sure. So I've always been really interested in anything that's natural or organic or, really just healthy living. And so over the years, just through research on my own, I found some things that have worked for me and my family, everything from natural cleaners to, more organic foods. I just find that it really improves our life, And so it's always a process. We're always learning and adding new things to what we do. But yeah, it's just been kind of over the years.
It just waterfalls over.
Yeah,
which
absolutely.
I swear I say this in every single podcast episode and every single show episode, that I started with nutrition and then it just waterfalled over from there.
Well, once you start wanting to live in a healthier way, in a more authentic way with, there's just so much out there.
So much.
Right. And I'm sure it started specifically when my kiddos were little and just wanting to make sure I was giving them the best. And so, just over the years, I've really made it an effort to think about the way we live and the way that even the way we treat the planet, Yeah,
absolutely. So how did you find Kidding Around Yoga? Because I've never actually heard of it. I've heard of kids yoga,
right,
but not Kidding Around Yoga specifically before I saw it here at Find Your Fire Fitness.
Right. So, a year ago, actually almost exactly. And I'll get more into this later, but I was looking for a change in my life and always loved yoga and happened to see a Facebook ad, right? I mean, isn't that where most of our information comes from? Facebook. And it was just, an ad for teacher training.
Okay.
Become a children's yoga instructor. And I was like, that sounds interesting. I like this idea. Funny thing, I'll get off on tangents. I apologize.
It's totally fine. Take your time.
About 3 months ago, something popped up on a Facebook memory that said, and it was like, tell us 10 things someone might not know about you. And one of my things was dream job yoga instructor. Okay. And at that time, it was just like, that's kind of a pipe dream. I didn't have any training, just liked yoga. And so it was kind of awesome. But anyway, I saw a Facebook ad. I researched the company. I decided that they sounded really awesome. And almost a year ago, I took my training.
Awesome.
And,
So what is Kidding Around Yoga?
So Kidding Around Yoga is a Florida-based company. It was actually created by a woman named Harris Lender, which is funny. Her dad is actually the man who invented Lender's Bagels.
Oh.
Or I should say it's his company. He didn't invent bagels. But anyway, and Harris was just another yogi that had always been into yoga and decided to create this company sort of to break down the basics of yoga for kids.
Okay.
As educators, like I said, I have an early childhood background. I spent close to 20 years teaching preschool.
Wow.
And working with special needs kids. And so as educators, we really are always looking for ways to break down a hard concept for kids into little bite-sized pieces.
Yes.
And so Kidding Around Yoga really does that. And that was one of the things that really appealed to me when I researched the company, that they took what should be kind of maybe above kids' knowledge levels, and they brought it down. So, but it really focuses not just on teaching postures, but teaching meditation.
Okay.
We teach the kids a mantra meditation, and we teach the kids a meditation. It's called Peace Begins With Me. So very simply, we have the kids put their hands together, you know, in a meditation pose, and they say, peace begins with me.
So to go through your fingers, peace
Correct.
begins with me.
Right. So what this gives kids is a way to meditate that is actually doable for them. You know, I think as adults even, right? How hard is it just to sit and not think?
Very.
Almost
Very.
impossible.
Yes.
And so we teach them that mantra. And the way I usually do it is I teach it to them, and then we do it out loud, and then I say a little quieter, now just inside your head. It works with every age group. You know, it's amazing.
Fantastic.
It is amazing to watch kids, and you know, I teach a bunch of different places, but I have done school settings, and right now I'm currently in a Keysport school district, not school district, my bad, in one of their charter schools.
Okay.
High risk area, you know, poverty, obviously an issue in that town, and the kids are very high energy. But when we sit down to do Peace Begins With Me, it gets very quiet.
Yeah.
They really take to it. Anyway, so we teach the kids a mantra. We also do guided meditation by going to a place we call the Secret Garden, which starts with a little bit of talking through just sort of the tensing and relaxing of each of your muscle groups.
Yeah.
And then we just sort of talk to them about how the Secret Garden is a place that you can go anytime. It can be anything you want. You can invite anybody there that you want. And so the kids love it too. That's another thing that when I took my training, I was like, okay, you say this is gonna work.
Is it gonna work?
Is this gonna work for a group of small kids? It does.
I sound like I want to do it. Can I come to Kidding Around
Yes,
Yoga?
anytime.
Because
Anytime.
I want to do this.
Yes, absolutely. So anyway, I told you I'd get off on tangents.
Oh, totally.
But so we really want to teach the basics of not just the postures, but of the meditation, breathing techniques, mindfulness. And the kids don't even know they're learning. They're having so much fun.
Yeah.
High energy music, really fun games, all this stuff that really makes it so easy for them.
Well, and you do different things. Like you just said, you do games. I saw you did a glow in the dark one.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yes.
How did you incorporate glow in the dark into yoga?
Okay, so we call it Glowga.
Glowga, okay.
And it's just glow yoga. So firstly, I sort of made it a space theme. So everything we did was space themed. But, you know, the kids got their glow bracelets and things that I just made all the games that we would normally do really focused on that space theme.
Yeah.
And so, for example, we didn't go to our secret garden, we went to a private planet. And I had the kids, you know, I counted down for them like it was liftoff. And you know that your yoga mat becomes your spacecraft, and we go into space and then looking down at the earth and how peaceful it all
That
looks.
is so
Yes.
cool.
And I just talked them through that sort of guided meditation. And I did it here, and they absolutely loved it. I also did it at the Connellsville Library as
good.
part of a camp that they had. And every day the kids were like, "Are we going to our private planet?" You know, they loved it. You know, we did things like, so again, we just really incorporated that space theme and just made everything about that. Like we do a game where we pick up pom-poms with our toes. We call it toga.
Fun.
So I was like, okay, we're doing planet pickup, you know, and they loved it. And then create your own solar system. Like whatever pom-poms you picked up, you get to create your own solar system. And then I always like to ask the kids, what did you create? Oh my goodness, the answers were amazing. They were just,
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely, I bet.
it really sparked their creativity. Yes.
So you're actually from Pittsburgh. How did you find Your Fire Fitness?
So first of all, I actually grew up in Westmoreland County.
Okay.
And lived in Mount Pleasant for quite a few years.
Okay.
Just have recently moved.
Oh, okay.
So I think I met Dane now going to Snyder's. We
All
used
right.
to both go to Snyder's, and we just well, and if you've ever met Danielle, she's just the warmest, most kind
Yes.
person, and I didn't even know her, and just all of a sudden I started talking to her at fitness classes and just always loved her energy. And
She's a big ball of spirit.
right, I mean, you just can't get away from all that happiness and, that she exudes. And so when I started doing this, I was like, okay, it's going to be a drive, but this is one of the places I'd really love to be.
Yeah.
Good. So it worked out.
Fantastic.
It really worked out.
And when are your classes here?
Okay, so I teach every Monday at 6 o'clock right here in this room. And in addition to that, we might get into this a little bit more later, but in addition to that, we also offer this space for events. So Girl Scout troops, Boy Scout troops even, not just for girls.
Not at all.
I get so many boys.
I was going to ask you that. Do you get about the same amount of boys as girls?
I honestly get sometimes more boys than girls.
That's wonderful.
Weirdly,
wonderful.
You wouldn't believe it, but it's true. So Boy Scout troops, Girl Scout troops, even yoga-themed birthday parties.
I'm doing that for Annalise. I just realized I'm doing that for Annalise for her 3rd birthday.
Nice.
I don't even care.
Awesome.
It's going to be so good. It's a year away, but that's fine.
It's booked.
Yes, I'm booking it when we leave this room.
Awesome. So anyway, so that's where you'll find me, right here.
Very good.
Yeah.
So we talked about mindfulness and how you do incorporate that into your yoga practice with the kids. Why do you think mindfulness is so important for them?
Well, study after study is showing us, right, that kids are inundated by technology.
Yes.
Too much screen time, not as much socialization as they used to have. I mean, when we were kids, we went out and we played. Mm-hmm. And I feel like kids do that less and less. So what we're finding is this generation is more anxious, stressed out, and not really in touch with their bodies at all. Absolutely. And so mindfulness just really helps to kind of give kids that moment to pause and reconnect and listen, to what their body is telling them and just what's going on around you. You know what I mean? So I think it really does help, and I see it over and over again with some of the most, I don't want to say hyper, but whatever, hyper, full
high
of
energy
energy
kids.
Kiddos, who are very high energy during our songs, and very high energy during our games, but they're able to come back down and refocus with us when we do a mindfulness activity. So
very nice.
I definitely see the benefits.
So if I were to have, when I do have Annalise's birthday party, what kind of things can I expect?
Okay, so we would run through what would be a typical class. And again, that's going to incorporate everything from really high energy songs to meditation, to teaching the very basics of breathing techniques, mindfulness, if I didn't say that already, our secret garden.
Yes.
Our secret garden meditation. And then I also like to add a craft of some sort. I'll often have maybe a yoga mat that all the kids get to decorate, and that goes to the birthday kid.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Right. I've done mindfulness jars with the kids that it maybe is just like a water bottle, like the Voss water bottles work really well, that you just do the glitter and the glue, and they shake it up and they can watch that glitter settle to the bottom.
Sure thing, yeah.
And it's sort of a calming thing. I've done those with kids as well. So yeah, the birthday kid definitely will get a yoga mat, depending on how much time you want for your birthday party. A craft would definitely be included as well.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So you got certified through, we said, Kidding Around Yoga.
Yes.
Where can people find that? If they were interested in getting certified in this type of yoga, if they wanted to work more with kids and use this avenue, because it seems very like you have your own freedom, but it's also it has some structure to it as well.
Right. So first, to answer your first question, I was certified right in Pittsburgh. Like I said, they're a Florida-based company, and they do online trainings, but they also do in-person trainings, which are a weekend.
Nice.
Yeah. You can do the first, they do expect you to do the first half of the training, not half, it's like a quarter of it online.
Okay.
So you finish one module, and then when you go there, you've got some basics under your belt, and then they do the 2-day training. So if you were interested in finding a training, you would visit kiddingaroundyoga.com, and it will redirect you to teacher trainings. They do them all over the country and actually all over the world. We're actually international now. So
Wonderful. I feel like this is going to be a really big company if it's not already a really big company.
it's growing.
I feel like it's going to really be like a staple in people's homes. People are going to know the name because it just sounds fantastic.
It really is. And I wanted to say that, like you said, it sounds like you have a lot of freedom, but you also have this structure. They give you everything you need to succeed, honestly. The training is a complete curriculum, with all the music. It's all original music.
Very nice.
Yes. Created by Harris Lender, actually. She sings on most of the songs. So it's a complete curriculum. It gives you everything you need. And what was the other thing I was going to say? But it also gives you a ton of freedom. They're like, here's the outline, maybe for your first class, and this is the general outline, but have at it. You know what I mean? And so you really do have a lot of freedom to figure out. I've done 15-minute classes.
Okay.
If that's what, preschool's a lot. Just want something quick. So I've done 15-minute classes. I've done an hour class. I've done an hour and a half class. So that can be changed up and switched. Like I said, for my kiddos in McKeesport, I've just started with them, and what I'm learning is it needs to be more high energy. So I'm modifying some of the things I do to make it even more. I left there the other day, I was soaked with sweat, because they kept me going for like 45 minutes straight.
You got your workout in that morning.
I did. Actually, they were like, I'm tired. Can we go to Secret Garden? I was like, not yet. So I cannot say enough. Above and beyond, that curriculum piece that you get, they really did. They even talk a lot about the business end, how to market yourself.
That's great because that is not common.
No.
I have been a personal trainer for 10 years and I did not learn how to market my personal training business at all.
Right.
Not that my certifying body wasn't fantastic. They're fantastic. They gave me lots of information. But as far as marketing, that came with practice and over years and years of learning.
Right. They really do give you everything you need to succeed. And you can become what they call a licensee. I am not a licensee, but that just means that in addition to what you already have as someone who's had the training, they also give you a lot of marketing materials.
Okay.
If you decide to, I'm deciding that. I'm only a year
you're still
in,
new
so I'm
to
deciding.
it. Yeah.
I'm deciding. Yeah. So,
Very nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It is.
So is there anything else that I should have asked you that I didn't ask you up to this point that you can think of?
You put me on the spot with that one. I can't think of anything. No, I can't really think of anything, but yeah.
Okay, well tell people where they can find you online, again, about where your classes are here at Find Your Fire Fitness, about the parties, just kind of like plug everything that you do.
Sure. Okay, so you can find me, I have a Facebook page, and it's called Kind Kids Yoga PA.
I should mention really quickly, she was also at Wellness on the Yacht.
I was.
This year. Totally forgot to mention that. Super grateful for you to come to Wellness on the Yacht, but hopefully you can find her next year again there.
Yeah, I was totally stoked to be there. It was so much fun, such a beautiful setting, and such an amazing thing for the community.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
No, I really did love it. I think I had stumbled upon it years ago, just like, was like, oh, what's this thing? And like went and checked it out. So I knew what it was, but when you invited me to do it, I was super excited. So anyway, yes, you can find me Kind Kids Yoga PA, because Kind Kids is sort of my thing. That's like my company, if you want to call it. It's just me. You can find me here Mondays, 6 o'clock for Kidding Around Yoga. In addition, and obviously we already talked about, we do birthday parties, we do scout troop. We actually have a troop coming in at the end of November. We're super excited about. It's going to be so much fun. A couple birthday parties in the works for the spring. So anyway, and other than that, like you mentioned, I actually do live on the south side of Pittsburgh, and so I do teach a few places out there. Most of them are preschools, but I also do Peters Township Community Center. And again, if you were, I don't know if this will reach anybody way out there, but if it does, if you look under Kind Kids Yoga, you'll find
Kind Kids Yoga PA.
Yep.
And then they can find you at Find Your Fire Fitness at 6 p.m.
every Monday.
On Mondays. And then I did have another question that slipped my mind, but it came back. Do you suggest once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week, every day for a mindfulness or a yoga practice for kids?
You know what? I say it depends on the kid.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You need to go with their interest level. Most of our kiddos, you know, they come here once a week. But when they come back, their parents will say to me, I found her saying, peace begins with me.
I love that.
Right? Peace
I love
begins
that.
with me in their room, or she showed me her down dog, or what have you. So the kids take it home. They really do.
Good.
And I'll often give them what I like to call ohm work. You know, and I tell them it's like homework, but it's not boring. And so after Secret Garden, when they're still resting, I'll sort of throw something in there, like, for example, something like what we practice grows stronger. So if you leave here today and you practice the yoga poses we learned, you'll find your muscles grow stronger. If you leave here and you practice the meditation that we learned, your peacefulness and your calm will grow stronger. If you leave here and you practice kind words and, you know, loving, gentle touch with your friends and family, you'll find that your kindness grows stronger. So for example, one of my own works might be, next week I want you to tell me one way in which you were helpful or kind to somebody. So we just really try to focus on, you know, being good humans as well. You know?
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's
Did
great.
I answer your question?
Yes, you did. Yes, that's wonderful. So you can find her here Mondays at 6 o'clock at,
Yes.
tell me the Facebook page again.
My Facebook page you can find me at is Kind Kids Yoga PA.
Kind Kids Yoga PA.
Yes, and anything to do with Find Your Fire Fitness, obviously you would find on Daynell's
Of course.
Find Your Fit,
Yeah.
Find Your Fire page.
Awesome. So thank you so much.
Yay!
I'm so happy you got
Yes.
to join me today.
Yes, me
And
too.
she actually has a yoga class coming up pretty shortly.
Yep.
So maybe I'll stick around and check it out.
Definitely. We'd love it.
So thank you again. And
Wonderful.
thank you for joining us for another episode of Healing Whole. We will see you next time.